Well, that brings us to our last story. So there's been some updates on the six-pack Charger. So people are now regularly seeing these things around. And they do look very similar to the EV counterparts. For most of the vehicle, it looks identical. You can see some tailpipes out the back, which the EV, of course, doesn't have. And up front, you can see a huge bulge in the hood. They probably initially didn't intend to put an engine in this thing because that inline six is long and it's tall. And you can see if you look at the side profile, that hood sticks out pretty far. They probably kept all the other like quarter panels and grill and like that whole front area as similar as they could, just to be able to use as many of the same components as they can. But they had to do something to make that engine fit. It looks cool from a style point, but I think it was more of a necessity thing.
Now that you say that, it does kind of look like an afterthought.
That's one of my biggest issues with it, is that the front drops off so much. It's supposed to be flat. Like the Challenger's hood, the Cuda's hood, the Roadrunner, the hood is flat. It doesn't dip down like that. You're also regularly seeing the four-door version now. If you go to the next page, you could see an example of the four-door, which again, I've said this a million times, it looks so much better as a four-door. And I like two doors, but how they proportioned this particular vehicle, it just looks right as a four-door.
I really want to see the Throttle House boys get their hands on this, or Jason Camisa to really test out and do AB right next to do the high output six-pack against the
5.7.
Well, against the 5.7 of the old generation and against the new electric one. And the electric one will beat it in a straight line, but I bet this wins around a track just for...
Well, these can do burnouts.
Which is really all you need. That's like what you're saying. That's the outfit you're wearing.
Like, ultimately, you try to make a justification for the EV Charger, and you talk about the stats and the performance and the fake exhaust noise, and be like, is it a real Dodge replacement? Like, does this really like convince Dodge buyers? And then you realize it can't do a burnout, and you're like, what even is this then? What is the point?
You completely misunderstood the goal here.
You can actually see the heat extractor in the shot of the four-door in the hood. It says six-pack.
Oh, yeah.
Facing the driver, and you can read it from the driver's seat.
That is the kind of cheesiness we're looking for.
I'm like, yeah, okay, we're getting somewhere.
Yeah, that is exactly the kind of nonsense that I and other Dodge buyers like.
Have you heard what it sounds like?
No, I did not.
Dodge has been filming commercials in Detroit over the last few days, and there's quite a bit of footage of this new this red high output six-pack that's been like doing drifts and burnouts and stuff around Detroit, with like a camera crew and drones and stuff following it. So if you go to the next one, you can get a sample of how this new high output six-pack is going to sound.
For having turbochargers, you can still hear it pretty clearly. They did a pretty good job tuning that exhaust. It's still got like a throaty sound to it. People are going to love that way more than an electric one.
Obviously, it doesn't sound as good as the Hemi. Obviously.
Right, it was never going to.
No, that was never going to happen. Everybody prefers that to the fake EV noise that sounds like a repeating MP3. It sounds good enough. It sounds like a performance vehicle.
Yeah.
We also have names for the trims. The standard GT, the standard output is the GT. The high output is the Outlaw, which is a bit on the nose for Charger drivers, but...
The standard is the GT and then the Outlaw.
It's pretty cool.
They've always done well with the names.
They're good at colors and they're good at names, for sure. They used to have a Charger Deputy back in the day.
Oh, did they?
A trim called the Deputy. So Outlaw, they might have even had an Outlaw. I'll have to go back and look. I'm forgetting my Mopar history, but they definitely had a Deputy.
Oh, how funny would it be that instead of the GT, they had Deputy and Outlaw at the same time, and the Deputy is the low output version.
Deputy's a little corny now, but it would be funny.
Oh, come on. That would be great.
Over the last few days, Dodge has been spotted throughout Detroit with a high output Outlaw and a standard output GT. The GT one is white. So you if you look around, you'll see footage on people's Instagram and TikTok of these Chargers and drones and like camera vehicles chasing them around. And they also had a 2026 SRT Hellcat Durango that was also being filmed. Now, it's not notably different than the 2025, but I don't know if like SRT is going to have their own commercial. I don't know. I don't know why they have the Durango there. Still pretty cool to see those vehicles like driving hard, doing burnouts, drifting around corners, and getting a police escort while doing so. Someone commented that in a couple months' time, those same police cars will be chasing those same Chargers. So anyway, you'll see a lot more of those six packs than you'll ever see of the EVs.
Absolutely.